Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Indieheads podcast. I am your host, Matty, a.k.a. Recon G, at Monovian Prince on Twitter. On this week's podcast, we have...
Yo, what's up? This is Jackson, at horse_jeans on Twitter. Go follow me. What's going on?
What's up? I'm Gavin, at 490freak on Reddit/Twitter. Don't follow me. Block me right now.
Preemptively block me, please.
Hi, I'm Dylan. I'm on Twitter. I have a Twitter account. Yeah.
It'll be in the description of the YouTube page. Go to our web zone on YouTube. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's been a while. It's been a little bit. That's it. We're set. We'll just address it right away. It's been a little bit. Fuck y'all.
Indieheads podcast back at it again with the recording content.
Yeah, we're back. We got content for y'all. All right, we got some exciting news. We got some good singles. We got a cool main topic. It's gonna be a good one, folks. Better stay tuned in, or I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna just.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna give them a smooch. I'm gonna give them a smooch on the cheek while they're sleeping. That's what we do for all of our good boys and girls and non-binary folks who are listening to the podcast. But let's get into some news. Very important news. This is something for Gavin and I. Daniel Bryan, he's clear to return to the ring. He's gonna wrestle again. It's gonna be great.
No, Matty, this is not
I'm
a
ready for
podcast.
him to murder me. Murder me with knees.
Bryan Danielson, I'm into BDSM, okay? I'm into BDSM. Bryan Danielson, submission machine.
I refuse to be part of a wrestling podcast, Matty.
Hey guys, welcome.
Bryan Daniels.
We have rused you guys all. This is the first episode of Slam Me Harder, Daddy.
Freaking pranked. Technically, Daniel Bryan is an indie musician. He did a song with Kimya Dawson, so I think this stays. This will flow.
Okay, but just kidding. But again, I'm very excited about Daniel Bryan returning to the ring. But anyways, first bit of news.
Our actual first bit of news is a similar story in which a champion of Matty's heart is returning to the metaphorical ring. Yes. The boys are back in town.
Who are the boys?
Spread the word around.
Death Grips have announced that their new album, The Year of the Stitch, is coming soon this year. I love the title. The title is so good.
It's a great fucking title.
Yeah.
I also love the like text art they used to announce it that reminded me vaguely of like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia like episode title. Like the gang records a new album, basically, is what's happening here.
Let's talk about this new album, though. Okay, let's talk about what we know about it, all right? You forgot to mention two very important bits of info.
Well,
possibly three.
I was getting it.
But the first bit of info is that they're in the studio with Justin Chancellor of Tool. So for all you, are they like prog metal? For all you metal heads, your prog heads, your Tool heads, that's happening. But the most important collaboration that's happening on this album is that they were in the studio with the director of Shrek 1 and 2, Andrew Adamson. Why?
Is he a musician? I suppose he is.
I mean, again, Shrek 2 has some great musical numbers, like that fucking... Oh, God, there's the one scene where, like, Gingerbread Man's, like, really big, and they're singing... No, it was like Gabriel Iglesias. They were singing like that was like the credits sequence or like the ending scene. It was great, but they're in the studio with Shrek. God, I feel weird. It's weird to see Death Grips like embracing memes, kind of.
Yeah,
it's still a very bizarre sight because they do it every once in a while. And you're just like, God, no, you're supposed to create the memes, not embrace the ones.
They've been doing it since at least Fashion Week.
Yeah, Fashion Week was like their first like, again they stuck their finger again. They're getting the feet in the water doing the Ginny Death win, but that one was not really like that was like it was a meme within the fan base and it was just them fucking with their fans. It's like okay, I can accept this, and then like there was a weird one on Bottomless. I feel like Bottomless Pit was just like I'm gonna complain about Bottomless Pit really quick. Just this is very quick, Jackson. Very quick. Don't get mad at me.
Okay.
It just felt like the prototypical Death Grips album. It's just like, hey, if you like imagining like what does Death Grips sound like this is kind of what they sound like, and that's kind of boring to me. That's boring. Don't excite me. But this is I'm very excited based off of based off of steroids, which is the best thing they've done best thing they've done since Redacted on the Moon, in my opinion. So I'm definitely excited for this album. And again, the title is great. Year of the Snitch. Like, it's amazing. I love it. So I'm excited about this, as I am with most Death Grips related things. If you're listening, boys, which you probably aren't, but just in case, come to St. Louis, you motherfuckers. All right, I missed you back in like 2013, 2014. All right, I was a kid. Well, I wasn't really a kid. I was like 16. I didn't have my driver's license. How the fuck was I going to convince my mom to go drive me out to go see Death Grips? So you guys better come back to St. Louis soon, you motherfuckers.
They're a tough sell for teenage fans. The Death Grips name does not make it easy to get your mom to take you to the show. It's just a hard sell.
It's a masturbation joke, okay? Like, come on. But I'm excited about this, and hopefully the boys come to St. Louis or like
Your
Chicago.
mom doesn't need to know it's a masturbation joke, however.
That's true. That's true. I just get to know that.
It's more that when I wear my my Death Grip shirt, sometimes my dad will be like, "Why do you need to wear the shirt that just says death in big letters on it?" And I'm like, "Calm down, Dad. It's a cool shirt. Trust me."
I just have the frat Death Grips hoodie, and that, you know, it's probably just confuses people. Like, is this guy in a frat?
I have the Death Classic shirt.
Ooh. But okay,
Go check out my Etsy. I have a custom shirt with the image of MC Ride with the giant fucking moth, and it's just that on plain black.
Boom. All right, we got more news. Speaking
of sports and Matty busting.
Oh yeah, me busting massive nuts. All right, Avi Tear and Panda Bear. They announced the European United States Sung Tongs tour this summer, where they're going to perform Sung Tongs in full. They did this shit back in December for like Pitchfork's like 21st birthday party or whatever, and it was awesome. I was watching it live and I'm like, God, this is so good. Like, fuck. And then now it's like, hey, we're gonna do a fucking tour, and you know what? We're gonna come to Chicago a week after Pitchfork Fest, like, just to fuck with me. This is just to fuck with me. It's like, hey, like, you're gonna spend all this money to go out to Chicago, you know, for this Pitchfork Music Festival, and then we're just gonna come like a week later, and you're gonna spend more money to go see us, all right? Because it's fucking Sung Tongs, okay? It's fucking Sung Tongs. I gotta see it again, or I gotta see it. But I'm gonna shut up. I'll let you guys discuss this amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna get really mad in private.
Yeah, this should be cool. I'm still not really an Anko boy, so I cannot relate to that. But I understand the importance of this to Anko boys and girls.
It's
Tongue
cool.
songs. Tongue songs.
That's the contribution. That's Dylan's contribution.
Ska tongs, more like it, is what they should do.
But speaking of other exciting cross collaborations, this week we got great news, which is that Clipping are recording with JPEG Mafia in the studios. Our noise rap boys have crossed over. Some are calling it the most ambitious crossover event in history. JPEG Mafia, Clipping, it's going to be good. Whatever they make is going to be good. If it's a single, if it's an EP, whatever. I'm just glad that Clipping heard the new JPEG Mafia album and was just like, yeah, this dude needs to be working with us. Because it just makes too much sense for the two of them to be doing something cool together. So I'm excited about this.
Shout out to Davey Diggs for just being the realest motherfucker.
Also, shout out to Davey Diggs for he did like a run of commercials for I want to say it was like the NBA on like Christmas Day, and I remember I was like sitting around my family like watching like basketball games, and then Davey Diggs is doing a commercial where he's like rapping about the NBA, and I'm like, what a world do we live in that the guy who made Body and Blood is on my TV on Christmas Day getting fat checks to endorse the NBA. Like the fact that Davey Diggs is like a person that like regular people know is so great to me, and I'm glad that he's been able to like turn his noise rap career into like an actual successful career. Good for him.
I went to the movie theater last week to see Love, Simon, and they're doing all the ads like before the trailers, and there was one of David just like rapping along about a fucking bank or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that one on Twitter.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. It really is the most bizarre thing to see Daveed Diggs like basically doing like normie shit. Pretty much, it's like he's like executive producing a show on ABC, and I think he's in it at some point. And he's in commercials for like Cricket Wireless and
some fucking Sesame Street.
the fucking Sesame Street. The guy again, the dude who said some real nasty shit on these clipping albums. All right, the guy who was again. Thank God for Lin-Manuel Miranda. Honestly,
Yeah, in the same calendar year, he was like in Hamilton and then made a concept album about space slavery.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Great album.
Good for Daveed. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for the JPEG Mafia bank commercial to come out.
Wait, have you guys seen the clippings like "What's in My Bag" video?
Yeah.
Like Daveed's putting out, like all these sort of like old school rap records, and like the producers are just putting out these like really weird, obscure like noise records, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do these guys like collab sometimes?
They pull out like a collection of like early like 60s modular synth stuff that's like archival from like some university basement, and I'm like, how the fuck do these guys know about this?
And how is it in these
that
stores?
Amoeba has all this shit? Like,
it really, it's quite incredible. It's quite incredible. But that will do it for our news, and we're gonna get into our single alert, which is like semi-news because almost all these have like some kind of album attached to them. But anyways, hey, let's start off with this new Snail Mail single, "Pristine." Fuck.
Yeehaw!
Okay, before Jackson, I know you have a lot to say. I want to say this. Snail Mail, the sort of the singer-songwriter project of 18-year-old Lindsay Jordan. Let me mention that again. 18 years old, all right? Fucking 18 years old, making me cry like a little bitch in my fucking chair. She's got that so basically I haven't been like this had this like fuck you for being so talented attitude towards an artist since like Will Toledo. Will Toledo is someone that consistently makes me go, fuck you for being so talented and so young. This man's made Twin Fantasy at like 18, 19 years old. Like, fuck you. How the fuck you do that? And it's the same shit with the Snail Mail and Lindsay Jordan. It's just like, how the fuck are you so good this young and like are able to strike me to my fucking core? Alright? Like, I need to see a therapist. Alright? I need a therapist after listening to this. Alright? You're unlocking some shit inside my brain I don't want to think about, and you're making me do that, and I hate you for it, but the song is incredible, so I can't really hate you for it. But, Jackson.
Yes. This song, it's the lead single off of the Snail Mail album, which comes out in June, I believe. It's called Lush.
Oh, wait, oh yeah, it's June. I'm reading the wrong thing. Sorry, I was about to yell at you about it. Like, you're getting it wrong. It's like, no, I'm getting it wrong.
No, yeah, but it's just like it's a huge step up over the stuff I've heard from Snail Mail in the past. Like, I really liked Thinning and some of the other songs I had heard from Snail Mail. I was like intrigued for sure, but this is like for me at least, a definitive step up over all that. Not just because it's like clearly a little nicer production, like the production quality is definitely stepped up from her last release to this one, but like the songwriting here, like you said, is just like really good, really, really insightful, interesting, like fuck me up, good lyrics. And I think the way that the song is like structured and the way it progresses, and when she gets to some of those kind of like bigger moments toward the back half of it, where she's like saying like, "Who do you change for?" and all that stuff. Oh, it's so good, and it's like the perfect kind of. I was just like. We talk about a lot of music on the podcast of all genres and variety, but in terms of just like straight up like indie rock, like basic definition indie rock, this is like some of the best shit I've heard in a while. Like really, really good hooks versus everything about the song I enjoy, and I am now way more excited for the Snail Mail album than I expected to be, but I'm happy about that.
Yes. Gavin, Dylan, y'all have any thoughts?
So, yeah, I was listening to Pristine. I've heard it a few times, and it has pretty much it knocked my socks off on first listen. It seems to be, at least this year, the first half of this year, it seems to be a more focus in the industry towards, women-based songwriters. And, obviously, that should be every year, but like specifically this year, we've had Snail Mail, we have Lucy Dacus and Haley Hendricks and Camp Cope, Caroline Rowe, like just a smattering of singer-songwriters that are getting a ton of attention. And Snail Mail definitely feels like it's sort of on the higher end of everything coming out right now. Like the songwriting, especially the lyrics, is just so tight. It's really tight. It's really polished, and you can tell that just so much work has been put into it. So I'm really looking forward to this next record, and it makes me mad that I haven't actually caught up on the Snail Mail EP from a couple years ago. So as soon as this podcast ends, I'm pretty much just going to go and listen to that.
The fact that we are going to get a Hop Along album this year and a Snail Mail album this year is just like
it's
too
kind
much.
Of fucked. Yeah,
it's extremely fucked. Like there are too many talented indie songwriters who have voices that make me want to die out there right now. And yeah. I'm excited for this album. I'm excited for the kind of Snail Mail moment that seems like it's going to happen around this album, because this definitely feels like she's like 18. She's really kind of coming into her own as a songwriter, and it seems like the moment for her where it goes from like, oh, she could do something interesting to, oh, she's about to do something interesting, like, and that's fun.
Speaking of,
in terms of like.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good. But like in terms of like musical style, it's really not that different from a lot of other like indie rock, indie pop stuff that's going on right now. It's just very stripped back, bare production that feels like it's just something you find on Bandcamp, because it kind of is. But what sets it apart for me is just really the lyrical content, and that specifically is just so much more impactful, I think.
Yeah, it's simple indie rock, but it's executed so well. Like, just really from top to bottom. There's nothing about this track that I was like, I could have done without this or that. Like, it all works.
Yeah, it's like musically it doesn't reinvent the wheel, but like in terms of just pure lyrical content, it's just fantastic. It's kind of the same feeling I have towards like the new Camp Cope record, where it's like I feel like I have heard this like chord progression before, or whatever, but like just the songwriting, the lyric is just so fucking good. Like the storytelling is so fucking good that I can't.
It reminds me a little bit of, and Matty's about to go wild, but the Lamelda album from last year, in the way that it has these really sweet melodies and this real like endearing charm to it, where you're like, wow, this is really pretty and nice and sunny, and I like listening to it. And all of a sudden you start paying attention to the lyrics, and by then you're too late. You've already liked the song. The melodies have already captured your attention, and then by the time you realize how much this song is going to hurt you, you are already in its grasp, and it is going to fuck your shit up. And that's how I experience this song. And then since then I have listened to it countless times. It's really good. It's one of my favorite singles here.
Alrighty, we're ready to segue in the next one, and I got some thoughts. I got some hot takes on this one. All right, the new Beach House song "Dive." All right, so they got a new album called Seven. It's their 7th album coming out on May 11th. This song "Dive," it's pretty decent. It's decent. That's all I gotta say.
Folks, it's Beach House.
I didn't like Lemon Glow at all.
It's a beach house song.
They are actually changing up the formula a little bit on this new song. Lemon Glow was just generic beach house. Like, god damn it, guys. Like, all right, like, y'all ever listen to Teen Dream and be like, damn, Beach House, man, they could have been great. They could have been this great, awesome band. They could have done these really awesome things in Dream Pop. and they're just like, hey, we got this formula, we're just gonna kind of keep up with it, and then we'll see what happens from there. But this new song is definitely like, oh hey, they actually might change up the formula a little bit. Like, this could happen. But I'm not the Beach House boy, even though I love Teen Dream, but I'm not a Beach House boy. We got some Beach House fans in the house. Beach House fans in the house, what you think?
Personally, I like the single a lot. I think more positive on Lemon Glow than most people. I'm very aware of how it doesn't reinvent the wheel for them, but I think it does some like obviously it hits some of their distinct notes that we know very, very well by this point. But I thought that Lemon Glow, like the way it was produced, like kind of the vibe around it was a little different. It seems more like dark than a typical Beach House song. It's hazy in the same way, but it has like kind of different emotional tones because of some of the production. And then Dive is definitely like something that we haven't exactly heard from them before. The way that it kind of starts so slow and like grand and kind of sweeping, and then those guitars come in. But that was a sound that, like, when those guitars come in, it's like, oh cool, I haven't heard something like this on a Beach House record before. And like from that letter that they wrote about their new record, it seems like this is for them like a chance to kind of step back and start like a new chapter in their band, almost like they talked about how it's the 7th album and they're kind of taking this opportunity to do things a little differently and work in some different ways, and talking about how they specifically didn't want to constrain themselves by writing songs that knew they could perform live, and they were experimenting with stuff that they could do that they knew they wouldn't be able to perform exactly live, but they wanted to do certain things anyways. And I'm excited to hear what this album sounds like a lot. I'm very excited to go see them live. They're playing in LA this summer at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, which is going to be like peak Beach House listening conditions. I'm very excited about that. But I mean, like, for me, my thing about Beach House is just that, like, I understand that they have a formula, but like that's like a huge part of why I listen to their music. I listen to their music because it sounds really fucking pretty. Like, and I understand that that's not that like Depression Sherry is not as like well written of a like pop album as like Teen Dream is, but despite that, I still enjoyed Depression Sherry a lot, because if it's a Beach House song, I'm going to like it a certain amount, and I can understand how that's frustrating for some people, but like it doesn't bother me as much, and I'm able to just like be like fuck yeah, Beach House. And so I'm very excited for this new album. I'm excited to see what other different stuff is on there besides from the usual just like, ooh, reverb, I dig this.
Yes.
Dylan, Gavin, you guys have any thoughts?
I mean, I like Beach House. I listen to them. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I'll put them on and be like, hey, this is very nice. I like how this sounds. And that was my reaction to Die, pretty much. I liked it more than anything on Thank You Lucky Stars, and it definitely sounded a little bit more like, I don't know, like they're trying something rather than, I think the band was kind of going through the motions on Depression Cherry and Thank You Lucky Stars most of the time. So I don't know, it's a good song, and I like it, and I'm going to listen to 7 when it comes out.
Yeah, it seems like they are more invested in like really trying some stuff here, and we'll find out when we listen to the album how much of that that essay is just kind of BS and how much of that is like really them like doing new stuff. And I'm hopeful that this is even if it's not gonna be Teen Dream, I'm hoping it's like a significant album in the Beach House canon. Where like, here's the album where they did this, they did these, they try, instead of just here's another Beach House album. That's my hope. I mean, like, also, if we get another Beach House album that's just another Beach House album, I'm gonna listen to that shit, and it's gonna be real pretty and nice. But like, I agree, Matty, that I want them to kind of reach for those heights that we kind of know that they can reach. I'm just less frustrated when they don't reach those heights, I guess, is my take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Beach House. I don't know. I'm not a Beach House fan. They make me sleepy. If only there were some funky beats on a song that could make me wide awake.
Huh.
Oh.
Huh. I mean, I think Gavin. I think I got what you need. These new parquet
Wow, Matty,
courts.
do you have something?
I do have something. These new parquet
Wow.
courts.
What a coincidence.
These new
Wow,
okay,
what a
hey,
coincidence.
Parquet Courts. They got 2 new songs that came out between our last podcast. Almost had
Boy,
a
do
start a
they.
fight / in and out of patience. Gavin, shut up! I'm trying to say. And 2 new songs. Almost had a start a fight / in and out of patience and Wide Awake. Both these songs come from their new album Wide Awake, which comes out on May 18th, and it's their album produced by Danger Mouse. And these 2 new songs. So the first one is just, it's fucking good. It's just some good ass parquet courts. It's real punky, it's real fast and intense, and it's like, God, this is some good shit. Alright, this is some good shit, my dudes. And then Wide Awake is, shouts out to Lush, or Lushicrus on the subreddit. He was like, I love this new LCD sound system song, and that's pretty much it. It's basically like, hey, what if Parquet Courts made an LCD sound system song? And that's what it is. Although it's very, very repetitive, and usually LCD sound system is able to get away with like being really repetitive. And this one, at Parquet Courts, they come so close to not being able to make it work. It just barely works, you know. And it's very obvious. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is an album produced by Danger Mouse, all right. Like I can figure this one out. First one's just like, oh, it's Parquet Courts. Like this is some good stuff. But I'm very excited about this album. Again, I love Human Performance. Their debut's incredible. I actually have not listened to the second one they did, or is it the second or third one? It's the one that's like, I didn't listen to the Parquet Courts album either. The one that has like the really orange album cover. I don't know. I'm a fake fan, but I do like their stuff from what I've heard. I like Human Performance a lot, and this new album is going to probably be pretty good. Although the album art is kind of ugly, honestly. Like green, that green and that red, they just don't look good. Andrew Savage, I know you can do better than this, brother. I know you can do better than this. Why you gotta do this to me, brother? But these new songs are good. And, Gavin, now that you've had time to listen to these songs while I rambled on, what do you think?
They're good. I like them. I love the first one because I'm a little shitty punk boy who like anything that's like over a certain tempo. But, when I first heard Wide Awake, I thought it was a joke because the video is sort of jokey. They're wearing these purple suits. They like went to McDonald's and they stole a Grimace outfit and they cut it up and made suits out of it. But it has grown on me significantly. It's definitely very repetitive and it's very goofy, but like it's fun. It's a fun song. It's short enough that it's passable, I think. Yeah, I'm excited for this album.
It's like that tweet. It's like the length of punk songs, and it's like
Yes.
shorter than a minute, good. And then, oh god, I don't want to just describe tweets on the podcast because that's a bad habit I have. Where I'm just like, hey, here's a thing that's funny, and let me poorly describe it. But that was a good tweet about the length of punk songs, and then the best part was like 20+ minutes, somehow good again. But yeah, I'll check this out. I'm not a Parquet Courts boy, and I'm generally skeptical of Danger Mouse. But I don't know. We'll see how this comes out. We'll see what the final product of a Danger Mouse Parquet Courts album is. Hopefully good.
Alrighty. Let's talk about this new Unknown Mortal Orchestra song then. Not in Love or Just High. Which is, okay, so I know on the last time we talked about them, well, not the last time we talked about a song for the first time from this new UMO album, Sex and Food, out April 6th. American Goat, of course, my first thoughts were, I don't know about this. It grew on me. I love it now. And this song, I don't think it's going to happen, folks. Like, I don't think it's going to grow on me. It's just not good. It's just really not a good song. So it's like he's got this weird. So Ruben, this New Zealand Portland fuck. All right, he's got this weird like sort of vocal filter, and he's singing like really weird. Like he's like it's like his parents went to bed, or like his kids went to bed, and he's trying to record the song, but he's got to be like kind of quiet, like he can't just like belt out. You know, it's like it's like there's so much like hesitation in his voice, but not in like a good way. It's just like, this is hesitation, not like, oh, like you know like what's happening, like you're the situation in the song is like where you have a hesitation. It's like, no, you just like are trying not to like wake your kids up and wake your wife up while you're recording in your home studio at 4 in the fucking morning because you're a weirdo. So he's doing that for like 2.5 minutes, and the song's, it's just like, you're just wondering like, okay, so when's the song gonna come in? Like, is the song actually gonna come in? Like, are we gonna get some drums, or are we gonna get some guitars? Like, are we gonna get something? And then finally 3 minutes in, we get some drums, and it seems like, oh hey, the song built to something awesome. And then it ends like 30 seconds later, and it's like, what the fuck? So, I'm coming to this new UMO album really hesitant. Like, oh boy, I thought we were going to get like a garage rock album, and now it's like, oh, this is not what I wanted, or this is not what I want. So, I'm very hesitant going to this album.
Yeah, like, Unknown Immortal Orchestra is a band that it seems like can occasionally suffer from something I like to call the porches disorder, which is just like not knowing what are good ideas and bad ideas. And like, I don't know, like I'm very skeptical about this album. Like, I want to believe that they're gonna do something really cool and exciting and interesting here, but like realistically, like, I don't know. I feel like it's more likely, like, there's a lot of ambition in these singles, and there's a lot of like, I'm gonna really make some artistic statements here, and I just don't know if like that's a good idea. And instead, they should just be making like more songs like Multi Love and So Good at Being in Trouble. But I mean, I'm willing to check it out. I'm willing to go in with an open mind and be like, see what the album is about. But I definitely agree that this new single is very concerning. The single has me concerned that we're going to get a UMO album that's a whole lot of self-important artist navel gazing.
Yeah, that's my worry. I feel like I think that was everyone's worry kind of going into new UMO, because everyone's been seeing his Twitter and you're just like, oh god, like, oh, what's is he starting to stick his head up his own ass? I think he's starting to stick his head up his own ass. And this new song is definitely like, oh boy, he's got the tip in. He's got the tip in his own asshole. Tip of his head. Very disturbing visuals. I'm sorry, folks. We're gonna slap a not safe for work warning on this podcast. All right, sorry for the children. This is a family podcast. We gotta keep it safe for work. But yeah, this new song, and also the title is just bad. It's like, Not in Love, We're Just High. It's like, didn't you just write a whole fucking album about how love is like this weird thing, but you still coming away knowing that like love is this very powerful real thing? Like, I read the fucking interview to Pitchfork, man. Like, it's like, what the fuck happened? Did you get divorced and you're just real sad about it or something, dude?
Matty, does the title remind you of a certain album by a certain Australian band?
We're not. Hey, usually I jump at the chance to talk about this, but we're not going there, Dylan. We're not today. All right, I will yell about that certain Australian band when we talk about Pitchfork Music Festival, which actually we didn't talk about in the news, but we'll probably talk about it on the next podcast we do, because we'll probably do like our March catch up, and we'll probably talk about it there. But we're not today. Not today. All right, not today.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. But
one more single though.
Dylan, you want to talk about this one, because I know you're the grouper head.
Yes. So Grouper put out a new single. Was it this week or last week?
I think it was last week.
Last week. Yeah, it was a new single last week called Grid of Points from a new album.
Single's called Parking Lots.
Yeah, single's called Parking Lots, and then the album is called Grid of Points. I got that confused. And it's pretty much what you'd expect from Grouper coming out of Ruins. It's very melancholic piano ambience that just fits really nice on like a cloudy day out in the wilderness. And you can just kind of, lose yourself into, just classic grouper soundscapes. I was a little disappointed that this single wasn't more in the vein of like the Paradise Valley EP that she put out at the end of 2016, but because that's just, to me, that was just a fantastic combination of shoegaze and grouper style of slow, methodical ambient pop. So
I loved that EP. I really feel like the guitar sounds that she's working with very much work. I like the single. I think it's a little underwhelming, as like, I don't want to steal the same thing that Fantano said about it, but basically, like, it's like, it's good, but like it's just like I listen to it and it's like very melancholic, and I love grouper stuff. I like the mix of styles and influences they're working with, but like, I don't know. I just felt like I want this single to like make me feel more than it does. And I think was my takeaway from it. I could imagine. I like it enough that if it works in the context of the album really well, I totally could imagine loving the rest of the album around it. But it's just a matter of like, there's just not a whole lot. Like I listened to it, and I'm just like, I didn't really like gain a whole lot from just this song by itself. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound a lot like something that would fit a lot onto Ruins. So
it feels like almost simple to a. Like I want like do more weird production shit, or make the sound of the song fuller, or do something. Like I feel like this track could have used another kind of element to it besides just the piano and a bit of ambient production.
Yeah. So I guess we'll find out. Drops sometime in
April 27th.
Yeah, April 27th.
Pretty
soon. So hey, April 27th. Wake up in the morning. Yeah, you got a lazy Friday morning. You just kind of lounge around and listen to the new Grouper album. Go to the multiplex, watch Disney's Marvels presents the Avengers Infinity War. Sponsored. This podcast is sponsored by Disney, by the way.
Oh yeah, we're big corporate shills now. That's the new Indieheads podcast rebrand. Is that we love brands now?
Yes. Go to the multiplex, watch the superheroes with a big old Coca-Cola and a big old bag of M&Ms and enjoy yourself watching
Maria
art.
Menounos talk about the latest sitcoms on ABC, Paramount Network, the new Paramount Network. And by the way, this the movie theater, AMC Theaters. You forgot to mention that brand. But what the fuck are we talking about?
Oh, you have to drive your Nissan theater, by the way.
Yes.
Isn't your Nissan, which you bought because you saw it on The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Yes, please make sure before entering the theater you silence your Samsung Galaxy Note 7 and put it on silent so that you don't disturb other moviegoers.
Put it in your Wrangler jeans.
Yeah, your Wrangler jeans.
Actually, go into Avengers and then put the Grouper album on and listen to the Grouper album while watching Avengers. But you're listening to sad ambient piano music instead, and just report back to us and tell us how that experience was.
Yeah, if you start Grid of Points at the exact right second, it actually syncs up perfectly with Infinity War.
Or go to the theater and bring like a boombox and just blast the new Grouper album while everyone's trying to watch the movie, and everyone's gonna be like, why is this dude playing ambient music, and why am I so sad all of a sudden?
Who the fuck is in my house screaming woodland ambience? Show yourself, coward.
I'm trying to watch a bunch. So I'm at the theater. I'm trying to watch a bunch of hunks punch each other in the face. All right, and this motherfucker's getting me sad. Playing again. They're playing wood sounds on the goddamn boombox, and I'm getting real sad. All right, Some lady
There's
singing over.
There's some lady singing about something, but I can't tell because her voice is under like 20 layers of reverb. Can someone please give me a lyric sheet or something?
I don't know why, but the sound of water slowly dropping on a lake, doused in reverb, is making me think about my ex-girlfriend right now. That's grouper for you.
All right. Main topic.
All right, main topic.
Speaking of brands, the Indieheads podcast Freshman List 2018. We're at it again. We did this last year, probably around this time, according to Zach. Zach's like, hey, we did this like last year on this time. We should do it again. We're like, yeah, of course. Awesome. And we did it again. We opened up the votes. So we put together about 20 artists. We sent out the Google form, the voting to y'all on the Indieheads podcast Twitter. We said, vote. Do it. Pick 5. And we have whittled down those 20 to 8 now. And actually, not even 8 to 9, but we will discuss that right about now, as we are now going to get into our Indieheads Podcast Freshman List 2018, sponsored by Domino Recording Company. First up.
Okay, let's stop this before we actually get hit with copyright.
That's true. Okay, so beginning our freshman list is a tie. We got the emos. Awake but still in bed. No caps. No caps.
All one word.
No caps. No spaces. All one word. All right. That's that real emo shit. And then we have this one once again sponsored by Domino Recording Company. Superorganism. So our number 8 spot's a tie between Awake but Still in Bed and Superorganism. And
the two genders.
The two genders. So we'll start off with talking about Awake but Still in Bed. They put out their debut album, I want to say, earlier this year, called What People Call Low Self-Esteem. Is really just I don't know the rest. My iTunes cut off the rest. Someone
That's okay.
said the rest. Gavin, do you got me on this one?
Do I have you on this one?
On
the rest of the album title, or just talking about Awake but Still in Bed, the band, no spaces?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've got you on this. Awake but Still in Bed are amazing. They're great. They're an emo band that's fronted by a woman, which is not. I don't know how to It's not common,
Rare.
but it's also not particularly unusual. But they stand out because, not to be stereotyping in bands, but a lot of the female-fronted ones tend to have a reputation of having soft, airy sort of vocals, because it accompanies twinkly music pretty well. But not Awake but Still in Bed. Fucking Shannon, she's wailing her damn heart out on this album, and it's great, and it's definitely worthy of being on the freshman list. I don't know. It's hard to describe, It's refreshing to hear.
It's very raw. That was one of the takeaways I took from it.
Absolutely.
It's especially all the vocal deliveries that she does. It's like she really just lets her voice completely fly off the handle in a way that's super exciting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they were the talk of emo Twitter very early in this year. People were getting real riled up about this album. I definitely feel like we'll see some more from them in the future.
Absolutely.
Boom. And
then the other album tied here is Superorganism, which, as Matty is jokingly referring to, is not exactly the most beloved band on the Indieheads subreddit. Many people feel like they are industry plants, or feel like they are derivative, or feel like they are just people have weird hang-ups with them for just vague reasons that don't make a whole lot of sense. I listened to the Superorganism debut and I liked it, and then I listened to it again and I didn't like it as much. My feelings on them aren't really, really strong, but I will admit, despite how much I love to make oracular, spectacular jokes about them, I think their sound is unique enough in the same vein of that kind of MGMT kooky indie pop music, and I definitely feel like they're gonna be around because that kind of music always seems to have some sort of an audience. But I don't know. For me personally, I didn't love their debut, but I'm definitely like interested to see what they do from here, because clearly they have some sort of combination of talents that seems to excite some members of the indie community and enrage others. And it'll be interesting to see kind of where they go from here and whether they continue their rise to fame, or whether this is just kind of a vague MGMT cover band.
Yes.
I don't know. I have a lot of weird, confusing feelings about this band, and I feel like part of that is the way that people have kind of reacted to their sudden popularity.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a lot of potential, though, and that's what's important here on this list.
That is true. I'm happy about them being on our list, because as much as like their debut is probably not going to make like an album of the year list or anything, I definitely will check out for them in the future. Like they're at the very least like interesting. Like even though I can't figure out exactly how I feel about them, like they're making me feel something. That's for sure. They're not boring.
Yes.
Speaking of making me feel something.
Ooh.
Great segue, Jackson. Great segue. I'm announcing my retirement as the host of the Indieheads podcast and passing on my position to Jackson.
Jackson, do you want to introduce this next one?
The next artist on this list is an artist by the name of Igloo Ghost, who we talked a little bit on the Bleep Bleep cast. Put out his debut album last year on Brain Fear Records. Igloo Ghost, I believe he's called Neo Wax Bloom. He is a electronic music producer whose basically musical philosophy is just assault you with like musical colors. It's the brightest, most like off the wall, batshit insane. And it's not just like shock value, and it's not just like really like crazy productions. Like the productions are unbelievably intricate and complicated, and like the melodies and the patterns will like change like every other bar or something. Like it doesn't use like structures and repetition the way that most electronic music uses to kind of most electronic music production like uses very rigid, defined structures to kind of guide you through the song.
There's a lot of repetition as well with it, but like
instead of building on structures, he's basically like, I'm just going to shove as many ideas as I can into a song and just like throw them all at your face really loud, and it just like all kind of washes over you, but also all punches you in the face, and it's really, really wild music. And like in terms of electronic music producers who are doing stuff that's just like completely different and off the beaten path and original, like there are a few names who are as like fresh as Igloo Ghost, and also personalities who are as funny as Igloo Ghost. His AMA was like one of the better ones I've read in so long. He's really, really interesting, funny, and weird, and I like him.
Someone asked him a question in that AMA, and it was like, so like how do you go about like music theory and producing and song structure? And he was like, I don't know shit about music theory. I just throw stuff together when I think it sounds cool. And it's like, that's the best philosophy I've ever heard.
He also confirmed that he is indeed Diplo.
Yeah, he's Diplo. His favorite ambient sound is plugging chords into, what do you say, it was like a watermelon or a cantaloupe or something. And now there's a video now of him like actually using a fruit and just plugging it in and just making this like ambient wall of noise at his DJ sets, and it's amazing. He's the good brain feeder boy.
He's the absolute boy. All right.
Oh, I guess it's my turn now to take over this one, because I've been a big supporter of this next artist, and that's Haley Hendrix, who came out with her debut album last month on Mama Bird Records. Haley Hendrix is Portland, Oregon, singer-songwriter, folk artist who really caught my eye one day when I was just looking at like the NPR first listen. I think it was about the same time that like Soccer Mommy had her first listen put out like a few weeks before. And I saw her name, specifically her last name, because her last name is spelled
wrong.
Not wrong. It's very interesting and unique, and it's what caught my eye originally.
Is that her actual name?
Hendrix? I believe so.
Okay. So. If it's her actual name, I have no issues with the name. When I saw her name the first time, I was like, if she's choosing to spell it that way to like be quirky, I'm gonna punch her in the face. There's some bullshit I should not have to learn how to spell. But
no.
If that's a real name, that's totally fine.
No, it's a good name. I like it. It's a very good name.
It is.
It's even better music too. I've had this album constantly on repeat for the last month. It's so incredibly absorbing, and you just lose yourself into it. Her songwriting capabilities are really unlike any other artist that I've heard this year. It's very quick, and it's very clever. Like she's an incredibly smart musician, and it really shows, especially on the main highlight of the record. I'm forgetting the name out. Worth It. Worth It is the name of the highlight of the song, highlight of the record, which is a 7-minute, 3-structure song. And it just leaves me in tears every single time I listen to it. It's just utterly, absolutely fantastic. And I was the first one, I think, on the podcast and that just be like, hey, check this out. This is amazing. You should all go listen to it. And it has slowly but surely gained traction. And I think she's going to get a lot more buzz by the time this year is over, because there's just so much potential and talent there that I can't not see her just going so far.
You didn't even mention the name of her album. It's I Need to Start a Garden.
I Need to Start a Garden.
That's a fucking mood right there. That's a mood.
It is a fucking mood, yes.
But yeah, you put me on this album and I really liked it a lot. I gotta listen to it more. I really liked it on my first listen.
Yeah, just so many standout.
Fuck.
There's so many standout tracks. Worth It, I already said, and I'm gonna keep saying it. But also, Bug Collector is amazing. Drinking Song at the end of it, I think was on an EP that she put out in 2016 that I don't know if anybody heard. I didn't hear it. There's a title track as well towards the lower end of the album. Not title song. It's Untitled God Song. My bad. And I just love this album. It's incredible. It's fantastic. It's only 8 songs. It's not very long, but it's perfect for, just walking around on a sunny day, and it's great headspace folk music that you can just get wrapped up into and just enjoy the stories and the world that Haley creates. And she has just so much potential. So much potential. As we were talking just now, I just bought the second pressing of I Need to Start a Garden off her Bandcamp. So support your local artists, or support small artists wherever they may be, or artists you just enjoy. Because they make great stuff. And sometimes you find a gem that you just have to share with people.
Buy records.
Buy records. Buy records.
Indeed.
Consume, baby.
Give us your money.
Support us on our Patreon, patreon.com/indieheadpod. We don't actually have a Patreon. We probably should start a Patreon, but I don't think we're big enough yet. I feel like once we, basically, if I ever get to a point where my ego is so massive when it comes to this podcast that I need to start a Patreon, that's like, okay, it's time to end the podcast, honestly, or pass the reins to somebody else. But yeah, Haley Hendricks, I'm very happy to have her. Again, a little shocked. I'm very happy to have her on the list, though. Like, I didn't realize she was that popular. But next up, Jackson, I'll let you take this one.
So this one is one that I think a lot of us certainly expected to be here after the crazy second half of 2016 that she had. Yeji. Yeji is a producer. She's a rapper. She's a very unique combination of someone who is clearly like an electronic music producer and DJ, but because her own vocals are such a key part of her songs, she kind of is able to gain traction in a way that like a just traditional kind of DJ can't, because she's got these great music videos that she's directing, and she put out 2 EPs last year, both of which are very good. I like both of them a lot. Her sound is like this kind of sound similar to a lot of the lo-fi house stuff that's going around these days, but it isn't like cookie cutter in the way that it follows that formula.
A lot of like ambient house stuff. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like Kitty's record from last year, Miami Garden Club. A little bit of it.
It's very funky. It's very groovy. It's very kind of has that ambient production kind of aspect to it, and with her vocals on it, I mean, like "Make It Rain," which is the standout single from the second EP. Like her hooks that she's able to craft on the song are just so catchy and like ambitious, and like clearly like beyond being just a good house producer, she's like a good songwriter, which is why. And then like last year when that second EP came out, like the blogs were just all over her. Like all the blogs wanted to blog about her more than all the other blogs. She really got that Fader Pitchfork clout going on, and I'm happy about it because she is not only a very cool electronic artist they like, but she's a DJ and she's a girl, and like straight up like there just are not enough of those. Like the world of house and techno and electronic music is still
predominantly
it is painfully masculine in a way that other like scenes and music genres still aren't somehow. Like it is somehow like in a music industry that is generally lots of dudes. It's somehow more so in the world of electronics. So anytime there's someone who's doing something that's like completely cool and unique and exciting in the world of electronic music and is a woman, I'm just like, great, awesome, need more of this shit. So shout out to Yeji. I really like with both of her EPs. I'm excited to see what creative endeavors she gets up to next, and I'm excited as hell to see her at Pitchfork because that's gonna be banging. She's playing Pitchfork, right? I'm not crazy about that.
I think so. Wait, hang on, let me check. I'm pretty sure she is.
I thought she was undercard, but I didn't remember. I didn't want to be wrong.
I'm gonna look really quick while we talk, or while we'll pass off the next one to Dylan.
All right.
Unless you want to talk about Yeji a little bit more.
All I have to say is that I love both of her EPs. I like the second EP more than I like the first one, just a little bit.
I actually slightly prefer the first one.
Oh wait, Yeji's no, she's not on Pitchfork's lineup this year.
Oh, maybe I was just misremembering that because like she was really heavily rumored to be on it, and I wasn't sure if I was correct. But well, either way, I'm excited to see Yeji wherever I get a chance to this year.
All right. So are we moving on?
Next one,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next on our list at number 4 is an artist that has gotten a lot of traction in the past few months, and very deservedly so. Phoebe Bridgers, the very what's the right word for her? I would say she's very eclectic songwriter, singer-songwriter, folk artist again. She put out her debut album last September, Stranger in the Alps, which got a ton of press. I think she got Best New Music as well for it from Pitchfork, if I'm remembering correctly.
I'm gonna look. I don't remember getting best new music, but it was like
Either she got best new music or she got like 7.9 range area.
Something good-ish.
Yeah, 7.3, 7.9, something like that. Anyway, she has recorded stuff with Ryan Adams. She has a song on Stranger in the Alps that features Connor Oberst. She's toured with Julian Baker. And I think, who is she touring now with? I forget. It's someone big.
I don't remember who she's opening for. Someone,
yes. But
she's gotten a lot of looks in the touring department, definitely.
Yeah, she's been opening for a lot of people as of late. And I think just for the next year or so, she's booked solid with tour dates, which is kind of incredible. But anyway, what's up?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but anyway, no, I loved Strange in the Alps. I pushed very hard for it last December for the podcast awards. And I don't think did it make it? I don't remember.
No.
Not. It almost did, if I remember correctly. Yes, it was close. Anyway, but I love her storytelling on here. It's so it feels genuine. It really does feel genuine. It's people like to compare her a lot with Julian, which I don't think is undeserved. But in the sense that Julian is coming from a very personal place, Phoebe feels like her songs are coming from more of like a perspective. Like it's more of experience rather than just raw emotion.
I definitely agree that it seems more like Phoebe's songwriting style is more like I'm going to write a song that speaks. That her songs are more constructed in like she's attacking a certain kind of emotion or a theme or an idea, but it's less like her pouring her own personal like emotions out on the page as much as she's like writing a song that is engaging with ideas and things. Like in particular perspective rather than just solely the personal. She crafts
her themes and she crafts the subject matter that she wants to write about, and she puts them more into metaphor and short stories. She's a lot like Kaz, I think, in that point, which makes sense because she does a cover of "You Missed My Heart,"
which is
the last song
so
on the album.
good.
It's very
so
good. I think it's one of those covers that's actually better than the original, just because of.
I think the change in instrumentation does, and then her voice covering that song is really, really great. Yeah. I might like it more than the original as well. But both.
It's a very accessible sound without being too like overdone before. It's a lot of just beautiful metaphor as well. Several songs on here I just adore. Smoke Signals, the opener, is kind of what got me hooked immediately. And then from there, Funeral, Killer, Georgia, like, it's just like fantastic song after fantastic song over, a 10-track, 45-minute album. And she has gotten so much press recently. And I really love that because it kind of shows how connected she is in the industry already, which is kind of surprising, but well deserved.
It's impressive for sure, yeah. All right, next one on the list. This is one that we talked about earlier in the podcast, so we're not gonna probably go too deep on this one because we've already had a long session. Snail Mail. Snail Mail comes in the list at number 3. I think this is definitely a year where one of the big things we're going to be watching out for is this Snail Mail album and how it turns out and kind of where she's 18 and she's just like ridiculously talented already, and clearly this whole indie rock shit comes very easily to her, and that's good. I'm excited to have a new exciting face in indie rock. I'm excited to hear this album. If it sounds anything like Pristine does, it will probably be one of my favorites of the year. Yeah, I'm also fucking kicking myself for not going to see Ott and Snail Mail together, because they were playing at like the Museum of Contemporary Art in Detroit. Actually, that show might have been like this weekend, and I just missed it because like I didn't find anyone to go with, and I was like, oh, I don't care that much about Snail Mail. I kind of like that song Thinning, and now, of course, 3 weeks later, after I had the decision to buy the tickets or not, now, of course, I'm like obsessed with this new Snail Mail song. But I will definitely make an effort to go see Snail Mail live at some point, because I'm really excited to see where she goes from here, and like what her year looks like and what this album looks like. Yeah.
Boom.
Any stray Snail Mail thoughts?
It's crazy that like Snail Mail was a band that everyone like sort of just they're kind of lukewarm positive on, and then after one song they're already like placing third on our freshman list.
Oh yeah,
that's like insane.
The song is that good, Gavin.
Yeah,
right?
No, it
like,
totally is. Like, I'm not gonna disagree.
And also like the song really like eloquently like demonstrates why specifically Snail Mail is like good. Like the other Snail Mail songs are like all solid songs. Like it's not like she was putting out bad songs and now put on a good song, but it's like on Pristine you can clearly identify, oh, here's what makes her special. Here's why this album is going to be exciting. Here's what, like, it riles you up in a way that her other music doesn't. The other music is just like, oh, this is really great. But this is like, oh boy. Like, it's definitely a step up in a way that is exciting.
Yes.
Yeah. Well-deserved third place.
Speaking of cool gals making indie rock music, we got another one. This one is hot in the streets right now. Coming in number 2 on the list, Soccer Mommy. This one was, I thought, like pretty much the biggest shoe-in on our list as someone who was gonna make it, because everyone and their dad these days loves this new Soccer Mommy album. It's really good. I loved it a whole lot. It's been one of the early indie rock albums that I've been returning to a lot this year. She's just like a really, really, really great songwriter that is clearly kind of combining some of the traditional indie rock sensibilities, some of the 90s nostalgia that's so popular right now, but like she's so clearly like a personality, and there's so much of a person behind these songs that it doesn't really matter to me that, like, in a similar kind of way to Snail Mail, it doesn't really matter to me that she like plays on a lot of like indie rock conventions, because it's just done really well and the songs are really well written and she's very compelling and interesting, and I really like this album, Clean. It's a great album. I think the opener, Still Clean, is a really great one. I love Flaw. Flaw is such a good song. Cool and Your Dog are both great singles. I thought it trails off a little at the end. I think it's a very strong first half of the album, and the second half of the album is good, but like less so. But in general, like, I think Clean was like the perfect, like, here I am, here's what I'm about. Got that Pitchfork cosign. We're all aboard the Soccer Mommy hype train these days, it seems like, and I'm excited because I think she's cool as shit.
I have not listened to the album because I'm sorry, Soccer Mommy is just, it's a terrible band name and I can't support it.
It is, and I've been out on her previously because I'm just like, I do not like this name.
I will listen to her eventually, but right now it's just like,
it was the only hurdle. But since getting into the album, I've just come to upset. I'm just like, whatever, I guess. I'm able to get over my like weird things I have with the word mommy that just makes me feel generally uncomfortable whenever I hear it. But I've managed to go. That is how good Soccer Mommy is that despite my weird hang-ups with her name, she's still great. and I still really enjoy the music, and I will now recommend it to people because I'm just like, this is good. You should hear this. I feel bad though because I feel like sometimes you just like pick your name and then all of a sudden you get famous. It's like, fuck, well, this is my name now. Like it's like you can't change it now. I mean, some artists have tried rebrands, but they generally, for the most part, artist name rebrands are not worth it.
Yeah. Well, unless your preoccupations, which you gotta.
Well, I mean, there's difference.
Generally, most cases, no.
Yeah, generally, most cases, if a band is changing their name, it's because there's some sort of outcry or backlash against it. No one's protesting the Soccer Mommy name.
I will protest the Soccer Mommy. I will go to the I will go to the local Soccer Mommy show and I will have a picket. I'm gonna have a picket at the front of the show saying, "Your name makes me feel really weird and I don't like it. Please change it." Or I'm just gonna have that. I'm just gonna be like, you know that meme. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. No, I'm just gonna have that sign to the. I'm just gonna bring that sign. Anyways, hey, number one. Unless someone else has thoughts on Soccer Mommy that I'm rudely interrupting, which I apologize.
She's good, and I like her, and I like her music.
Gavin.
Same. Yep.
All right.
I want to be your friend. I really like that. That's the other thing about her music is like she's simultaneously very like compelling songwriter, but also she's so fucking cool and like interesting, and I want to like hang out with her. That was like after listening to her album, I was like, man, I want to hang out with this person. They're really cool and interesting. And
shout out to the Nardwar interview that you did that came out yesterday.
That was great.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, Matty. Hit us with that sweet number one spot.
All right. Number one, our top freshman pick of the Indieheads podcast freshman list 2018, JPEG Mafia, who, I mean, he's been around for a little bit, but whatever, we're counting him. JPEG Mafia.
Broke out.
Damn, Peggy.
Broke out. Basically has breakout album this year with Veteran, and fucking hell, folks, I'm very happy to have this number one because Veteran is the hip-hop album of the year. Peggy is fucking incredible. The man's sample fucking ODB gargling and turned it into a banger. All right, like are you kidding me? You fucking kidding me? He's incredible. Yeah. Peggy stand up.
Oh, hello. I'm pretty sure. So the way that this kind of started specifically within our chat was. So the album came out, and there were a couple of people talking about it, and I think Britt brought it up in the chat just because there's a song on the album called "I Can't Fucking Wait Until Morrissey Dies," and having heard nothing about JPEG Mafia before, I was like, well, I need to listen to this song immediately as it is relevant to my interests and or hobbies. And I listened to it, and I loved it, and I listened to Veteran, and I think all of us can speak to this experience is that Veteran is an album where you listen to it and then you just compulsively listen to it for like 2 days because it just like kind of takes over your brain and you can't stop thinking about it and you just need to keep listening to it because it is just like infected you like a parasite in your brain. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I need to understand this. And the more you listen to it, the less you understand it. Like you're not getting a better idea of how he did this or what he's doing here. It's just like this thrill ride of. I think the thing that's most compelling about it is that there's like a lot of like cool rappers who will do like experimenting stuff, but there are very few rappers who will combine like really wild production and like having bars like this. Like, I think it's cool that he on songs like the opening track Calvert Street or whatever it's called, like he sounds like a modern like SoundCloud rapper. Like, he's not someone who is completely divorced and separate from like the sounds of rap music that are popular right now. He's just taking them and then like passing them through his like hell zone filter, and all of a sudden it's like the demonic evil twin of SoundCloud rap. And his personality is just so hilarious and funny, and like he manages to do humor that is very like provocative without being a stupid edgelord. And I really just love this album, and I'm happy that he exists, and I'm happy that he is now just someone who is a figure in the experimental rap noise rap kind of scene, because there was kind of that boom of like really left field rap with clipping and death grips and all those kind of groups, but it kind of felt like we needed new blood in this kind of scene. There needed to be someone doing something new and different. So it's just so that like every time someone makes noisy rap music, they're not like, oh, it's death grips or this is clipping. Like we need other people who are making this kind of music and doing it in different, new, unique ways. And goddamn, did Peggy do that? I fucking love this album. Go ahead.
I have a take. Veteran is the Freddy Got Fingered of SoundCloud rap.
I think Veteran is probably more culturally revered, but I also completely understand the comparison there.
That's just again.
Defender.
I just watched the new Red Letter Media video. I'm like, this makes sense in my head. I think I'm just gonna throw this take out there and get yelled at online.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get yelled at online. But as a Freddy Got Fingered defender, I see the artistic merit in the comparison between the two.
Thank you, Gavin.
Yes.
I'm very happy this podcast is almost over because I can't deal with this right now. But Veteran is rap album of the year by far.
It's really good. The fact that like the way he flows over, like it reminds me a little bit of Atrocity Exhibition in that there are a lot of songs in this album where it almost feels like him personally challenging himself to rap over unrappable instrumentals. Like the way he starts like hitting the pocket on that DJ Snitch Bitch interlude. Oh my god, like he can really, really, really rap his ass off. And he's got so many memorable punchlines on here. You got AR built like Lena Dunham. I need me a bitch with long hair like Mike Seatown. Like all the things. Like he has so many quotable lines on here, but also so many like completely batshit insane. And he produced and mixed and did all of it. It's all him. Mm-hmm. And that is another thing that
he does his own samples too. Which if you watch the Fantano interview with him, which is actually a surprisingly good interview. He's like too poor to afford samples, so he just makes his own from like banging on his wall or like clicking a pen or anything like that. Like it's extremely DIY.
Oh yeah, there's one of the, I'm trying to remember which song it is, but that song that has all those like popping sounds that are like soaked in reverb. I think it's I want to say it's like, I would have to remind. I want to say it's like, no, it's not Germs, is it? Or maybe it's like Tears. I don't know. But anyways, it had these crazy popping sounds that were just like soaked in this weird reverb effect, and that was him clicking a pen. Like he takes like. He really is experimental in the way that he is like really trying shit and just going all out there. And I'm excited to see like what he can do next with like more resources and more kind of hype behind him, because there's some good ass shit on this album.
Some would say some great ass shit on this album.
I would agree.
Yes,
I would strongly agree.
Yes.
I don't know how we haven't mentioned this. Baby I'm Bleeding. Holy shit, is that like maybe the song of the year. That like beat with that incessant like synth line that just makes you feel like you're about. It's just like, oh, I need to like run through a fucking wall and rip someone's head off. Like it is so blood pumping in a way that it's while then he just spits for like 2 minutes straight, and you're just like, oh, I love this man now. I will
promise I would never go blonde like Kanye. It's like one of the top 5 lines on the album for me.
So true. It's so good. He's very online. We've talked about that before, but
like, he's extremely online.
He understands the language of like internet subcultures and like he engages with. He feels like he crawled out of some like abyss on the internet, and he's like he's here to just like shit on anyone and everyone who like takes themselves too seriously, including bloggers who he is not a fan of, like us, he is anti-blogger, but I forgive him for his stances because, to be fair, we are the worst. So, like, very, very fair critiques there. Yeah, I'm so fucking excited to see what this guy does next. I'm gonna go see him on tour for sure if I can this year. I ordered Veteran on vinyl. I got the vinyl with the vinyl cover of it is just his old Louisiana ID on a white background, and it's a really cool cover. And so I'm excited to that. I think it doesn't ship for like 2 months or something like that. But
I think it's like June or something it ships.
Yeah. But I copped that as well. Had to go support my boy on that one. I was just really excited that, like, it was one of those things where I was like, hey guys, you really need to check this out, and all of a sudden everyone was like, holy shit, yeah, this is like something we do really need to check out. And like, it was really exciting to kind of see everyone in the chat get excited about something new like that. And that's what the point of this list is we're talking about the new shit, the new hot shit,
the new shit.
Exclusive, the exclusive Nissan Optima Indieheads freshman list.
Yes.
Presented by M&M's.
All right. I think, but yep, brands. We love brands. We love brands.
And we love content.
We love brands.
All right, end
Brands.
the episode right now.
Okay. Hey, hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Hey. Make sure to give us a like on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on iTunes, give us a rating on iTunes, because we never beg for that, but hey, I would like more exposure for the Indieheads podcast. So, hey, get off your lazy ass and write us a little review, give us a rating on iTunes, please, for the love of God.
It's your job to make this podcast popular, not ours.
We tried. No, it's my job. All right, I try. But I need y'all's help too. So give us a rating on iTunes, and we'll be back soon. I'll be doing our probably beginning of April, probably soon. We'll be doing our March catch up. So we'll be talking about a couple albums that dropped, a couple of artists. There's some artists here in the freshman list that I'm sad we didn't mention. You know, there's one that I've been getting really into, but we'll talk about it on the next podcast because his album comes out in like a week. So Paul Cherry, Your Letter. It's a good song, but yes, I had to get that in.
There's some new good. What albums are coming out like soon? I know Hop Along comes out soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm revving up for that. There's a couple of things on the pipeline.
The Voids drop, I think, next week, or yeah.
Oh, and we may or may not be doing an album commentary for the Bastard Man, who put out his rock masterpiece this week, Jack White.
Yeah, it may or may not happen. Stay tuned. But yeah, a lot of good stuff coming out this year. Again,
music, folks, it's good.
Music, it's
ska music.
Hey, Gavin, we're gonna wait for that one. You can't. I
get one.
You get one. All right, I made a couple ska jokes this episode just for you because you couldn't.
Thank you.
To laugh in your face. But again, hey, hopefully you guys enjoy this podcast, and we will see y'all on the next one. Bye. Okay, I can't find my recorder on my Skype. Okay, there we go.